Good morning. Today is the 10th of April and we're here at Rivo's hub in Poole for another Driven 24/7 event. We were here back in November for the one that was here. There have been other ones as well, but that was the first one that was at this location. I don't know where Amber, who runs the channel, is. She's somewhere around. This is actually a much bigger event than the one last time, and I'm sort of thinking that possibly the next time one of these is held, it will have to be somewhere else, just because of the number of people who turned up. Let's have a look at these trucks. I know I don't really know anything about American trucks and cars, but we've got a couple of Chevy Silverados here. This one says this is 6.2 litre, so obviously I believe that. I don't know if actually these are kind of running particularly well at the moment, or they're legal over here. I'm not too sure. That one's got a price tag of $6,500 on it, so I don't know. Some of you might know more about these than I do. I don't even know what year these are. I assume mid-1970s, but I could be totally wrong. It says 74 on the dash, but you know, that could be completely inaccurate. Something I am a bit more sure about is this Fiesta ST. I do apologise, you seem to have lots of motorbikes in the background today. 2005 pre-facelift Mark 6 Fiesta ST. There of course is the 2 litre engine. I don't know if this has been modified. The standard Vivas were about 150 horsepower. It's quite nice actually, the seat. I've not seen a sort of early one. I thought these were only post facelift, but obviously I'm wrong because this is a pre facelift car. So maybe they've made a few of them before the facelift came. Bikes are going or gone. Another Mark 6, yeah, so this is a Finesse. I don't know what engine this is. Let's have the replacement gear knob on it. Again with the sort of earlier dash in it. Personally, I prefer the later ones of these. This has got the sort of facelift type headlamps on it, so it's probably got a little bit more than standard. It would be a 1.25 or 1.4 this would have come with originally. First of many Fiats here. Actually, it's an Abarth, although it's based on the Fiat 500, of course. So this is a 595. Of course, Amber and her family have had many of these cars. I'm actually hoping to have a go in one of these soon, not this particular one. It's got a 2011 plate on it, but judging by those rear lights, it's a post-2015 car actually. Not that it's particularly different from the original 500 that came out in 2007. When I say original 500, I mean, you know, the modern one. There's been others before. This though, very special. It's a Fiat 131 Mirror Fury, but this is an Abarth version. Wow. And it's got sort of Fiat Sport accessories on it and all this sort of thing. These are exceptionally rare cars. I think this is a genuine one rather than a modified one. But to be perfectly honest, any Fiat 131 Mirror Fury is extremely rare in this country. I think anywhere. They weren't made of sort of the best steel back in the day. So to see one of these is just an absolute treat. That is one amazing car. I'm not sure I'd like to particularly reenact the scene from Le Professionnel, where Jean-Paul Belmondo drives a 131 in Paris. Is chased by a Peugeot 504 in this, because it might go very wrong for me, but there we go. 1990 Mini Studio 2. Now, it doesn't look like a Studio 2 at all. This looks more like a 70s Mini, and it's owned by Mr. Matt Pink, who brought the Toyota Paseo to the event that we had at Cadnam last month. He's got loads and loads and loads of Minis, and I think he was trying to decide what to bring today, and this just happened to be the one that he brought. The interior, I believe, is off a 90s Cooper. Yeah, it says Mini Cooper on there. It's all been changed in here. I mean, it doesn't look anything like it. We've actually got an earlier dash in here, seemingly, because the dashes didn't look like this in 1990, apart from the bottom half of it. Radio, of course, is in the funny place next to the passenger. He's put a rev counter in. He said it's just kind of some bits that he had lying around. And he's even actually put the earlier rear lamps on as well, and the older plug hole of despair badge on. So, you know, pretty modified stuff. Mr. Bill is here from Fuel Power, formerly Wells Wheels, with Fiat 500. Sorry, no, with Fiat Panda 100 HP. Because the Fiat 500 and the Fiat Panda Mark III are so similar underneath, I do get a bit confused between them. But I actually driven this car on the channel. I drove it, I think it was November 2020 I drove that. And then his lady friend's car, which is a 500. This is a Fiat 500 1.2 Lounge. It's a 2009, this one. With 1.2, with about 70 horsepower in it. So they're not actually comparable in terms of speed, but you can go fast enough in it. I have driven this actually. I did a review of it last September, and it's nicer to drive than I imagined. Well, I remember I have driven a few of these. I think this was here last time actually. This is an E36 BMW Touring. I don't know what engine's in this. I think it's a petrol one, which is just as well because that means we can talk about it. Oh, it's got little bits of wood in it. I do like a bit of wood, viewers. I'm not sure we'll see any beige leather interiors today though, because you know, maybe that'll just be being spoiled. This is a Seat Ibiza. I think they call this the Mark IV, although you've got to be careful with these because the Mark II Ibiza is at about 15 facelifts, so some people don't actually call them the Mark IV, they call them something different. I think this is a Cupra. Yeah, I'm pretty sure this is a Cupra. I can't remember actually what engines these have. I think it's a 1.8, but I could be completely wrong. This is 2013-14, so that's probably the 1.8. Then we come to the first of many Ford Fiesta STs. There are a lot of them here today. This is a Mark 8. There we go, Mark 8 ST owners. Mark 7 here as well. There's absolutely, utterly loads of them. There's something very tasty which just turned up. We'll have to look at that in a second. A lot of these got personal plates on them, so in terms of me telling you what year they are, I'm not going to be successful. Another Mark 7, another Mark 7. I've forgotten the ST was actually available with 3 and 5 doors. Oh, this is facelift one. Actually, they're all facelift ones. It's actually 2014-15. This is a Mondeo. This is the type that's just gone out of production this week. Actually, I don't know what engine this is. I think it's a 2-litre turbo. It's actually been lightly modified, so it's got little badges that say it's the Wolf Edition, which I don't think was a proper one. But lots of people, obviously, here who love the 24/7 channel. So do I. It says 200 bhp on the back, so I think it's the 2-litre, which is called the Eco Boost. Pre-facelift Corsa C. It's an elegant. That was the top of a range one actually, apart from the hot ones. Although I think that might have been slightly modified. Oh, it's got a trade sales plate on it. Wow! I almost bought a car from Trade Sales in Slough when they still existed. They all were one of the earliest car supermarkets, I think, in the country. I don't know if anyone remembers Trade Sales in Slough, then let me know in the comment section below. It was all going so well. Here's a Mark 7.5 Golf. I have driven one of these. It's one of the first cars I actually have driven on the channel. I think it was February 2019 I drove one of these. But unfortunately, there's a certain letter on here, which means we can't talk about it on the channel. This is Mercedes A-Class. Yes, it is. I've actually driven an A-Class quite recently. It was on contingency reviews. I drove that in February. But it wasn't this one. This is this is the A45S. It's got some crazy amount of power in it. I wouldn't want to drive that because I might actually lose my license, so I better be careful. So it's a very new one if it's on a 71. But that's a personal plate, so who knows. E92, I think this is called, BMW. Just be careful before I call it the M version. Just be very, very careful before I do, because it might not be. I think so. I think it's an M. Oh, a Nissan. This is a 350Z, isn't it? Not a 370Z. It's just some of the last year of production for the 350Z. I'd actually like to have a go in one of these. That'd be quite interesting. I gather these do handle rather well. This one's had some modifications, most of them have. Another one of these E92s, I think they're called. Ooh, yellow brake calipers. Interesting. Yes, again, it's probably that, although that one's been debadged as well. Oh, yes, please. Mazda RX-7. Oh, yes. Yeah, this would be around kind of 1990. Now, the plate is a personal one, but look at this. It's got cruise control. Look at all those dials. Wow. This is special, viewers. That is really special. I think it's called VFC. I might be wrong. I'm very bad with these sorts of things, but that is absolutely beautiful. Astonishing. Got an old Beetle here. It's very difficult to tell exactly sort of what year this is from, because it looks like to be something about. Oh, I don't think we have a beige leather interior, but that looks suspiciously like one. Very nice. We do like that. Probably worth a fortune, actually. That had all these little bits done to it. Mark III Focus ST, from what I understand. I suppose it could be an RS as well. I'm very bad with some things. No, it's just an ST. This Scirocco is lady driven. My lady wife's car, that is also lady driven because it's driven by a lady. That looks very fast. Yeah, I like so many cars around here. It's on a 10 plate. Ooh, another Abarth 595. This one's a C. This is the Turismo version. There's also a Competizione. This is the version I think I'm going to be having a go at. I think it's a 595C Competizione that I've been offered to have a go in. That should be interesting. Is that? Oh wow! It's an auto. Interesting. Again, it's probably post 2015. Vauxhall Adam. I have actually driven one of these. I have one of these as a hire car a long time ago. And I think it's 2017. I don't know what engine or anything this is in it, but it's basically a shortened Corsa platform. It's not bad actually. The boot is quite small, unfortunately, on these. Oh yes, so this is what I should have driven when I reviewed that Mark IV Clio. This is an RS line. It's a lot faster than what I drove. A lot faster. It's an auto. This was actually here the last time that we were here as well. I forget exact sort of brake horsepower, but it's not 75 horsepower like the one that I drove on Twin Jacket Reviews. It's a little bit quicker than that. And it's 130. It's not better than 75 though, isn't it? Yeah. And here's an M140i. I've just had a little word with the owner. This was again here last time, and gentleman has had this tuned to the same power output as the one that I drove last year. So yeah, this is 2017, this is a 2018, and this is about 420 horsepower. See, I wouldn't want to drive something like that again, because I was a bit afraid of losing my license. NAMX5, I think this is a UK one. Obviously with the sort of modifications you can get to these, it's kind of hard to tell sometimes, but this looks like it's a UK one. Oh, the BMW is just departing. I think that's a straight 6, I could be wrong. This isn't though, this is the good old Mazda oil filler cap, which I think was around to the mid 2010s actually. It was in all sorts of things. But there's the good old B engine. I don't know if this is a 1.8 or 1.6, I'm not actually sure. But that's 94, 95 for the registration. Something's over there. It's more bikes leaving, that's what it is. Don't know anything about motor vehicles for you, but that is a huge thing. It's an Indian. There we go. Yes, I brought a Rover along today. Bonnet is up because it's a V6, and if you don't put the bonnet up, it shows. So quite your car. Second of two Fiat 500 HPs here. This one's just been bought by Amber's father. It had no MOT. It needed a rear axle. So we'll have a look and see what else has been done. Both front wishbones, front dampers, front springs, front top mounts, rear beam adapter fit, and brake hoses. So it's got a few sort of marks and things like that on it. It's not bad actually. I don't think he even paid £1,000 for this, but he's done a lot of work to it. So, you know, these are going up in value now. They're not as cheap as they were. Certainly not like the sort of standard Mark III Pandas. Oh, another Panda. Yes, this is a VIP. I think this is an 85, and still got the original plates on it from Hill and Osborne from Burnham Market. It could be pre-01 number 0328. So this car has been at various events. It belongs to Amber's father. It's a Panda 45S VIP edition. I don't think there are any others left apart from this one. Do apologise for wind noise videos. Always go that way on Shambolic Shuffle, doesn't it? I think it's the same year as this Escort Mark III 1.6 gear, which also has been on the channel. I think this belongs to Amber's brother or something. It's just ever so 1980s with that interior, just ever so 1980s. So you've got some window tint, I think, slightly. The Escort Mark III that I drove in October 2020 was a similar one to it. It's an 85 as well. This could actually be an 86. It's not on the C, but one I drove was an 85 on the B, and it was a 1.3L, and it was just not the best spec really for them. Here we have a 2000 Honda Accord. It's a 1.8 SE Sport. I don't know why it's got SE and Sport badges, but it has. The wheels suggest to me it's a Sport, but it could have been some kind of dealer edition because that's just a decal that's down there. So I don't really know, but I'll have a look at these. I'm looking forward to having a go in this, and I have been offered one by Amber when I drive a good amount of the 24/7 collection, which will be in a couple of weeks' time. We have actually managed to arrange a date for it, which is good because I'm looking forward to it. So we'll finish on this little delight. This is a 2002 Toyota Avensis Mark I 2-litre SR. This is the top of the range car. It's a very late Mark I. The engine, as standard, develops about 150 horsepower. But this one's actually been lightly modified now. It's got a different exhaust on it, which has just been fitted. You just see just down there. So, a little bit more. And I am looking forward to having a go in it too, viewers. Very much so. I'm very blessed to have been given the opportunity. There is Amber. Ooh, wonderful. Is that 131 leaving? Oh, it's perfect timing. Yes, please. That one's not got a standard exhaust on it, has it? I don't know. Oh, it's not leaving. So we can get out. There we go. Excellent. So there we go. Thank you ever so much indeed once again for watching. Please don't forget to subscribe to the channel. There is Mr. Bill from Fuel Power. Hello, Mr. Bill. Hello. Subscribe to the channel, like this video, leave a comment below, you know what it is you're doing. And Amber is trying to run away from her own video. Hello. So yes, we'll hopefully have some more delights from the collection coming up very soon.